Hello everyone, welcome to USA State. Right now, somewhere in this country, someone is refreshing a government website at midnight, praying their number finally moved. If you're waiting on a green card, October 1st could be the most important date of your entire year, and most people have no idea why. Here's the truth, nobody explains clearly. Every October 1st, the government resets the visa clock. New numbers open up, old backlogs shift, and the people who understand this timing move to the front of the line while everyone else waits another year. Before we go further, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button and tap like right now. So let's start with the basics. The United States government runs on something called a fiscal year. It doesn't start in January like the calendar year. It starts on October 1st. And for immigration, that date is huge. Why? Because Congress sets a limit on how many green cards can be issued each year. Once that limit is reached, the line stops moving. People wait. Sometimes for months, sometimes for years, depending on their category and country of birth. But on October 1st, everything resets. A brand new batch of visa numbers becomes available. It's like a fresh tank of gas for a car that's been sitting empty. Suddenly, movement becomes possible again. This is why immigration attorneys call October the reset month. It's the moment when stuck cases can suddenly start moving. Priority dates that felt frozen forever can jump forward overnight. Let me tell you about someone I'll call Daniel. Daniel filed his employment-based green card petition years ago. Every month, he'd check the Visa Bulletin, hoping his priority date would finally become current. Month after month, nothing happened. His category was stuck. Friends who filed after him in different categories were already getting their green cards. Daniel felt forgotten by the system. Then one October, everything changed. The new fiscal year opened up thousands of fresh visa numbers in his category. His priority date, which had been stuck for years, suddenly became current within weeks. Daniel wasn't lucky. He was prepared. He understood how the reset worked, and he had every document ready the moment his number became current. That preparation is exactly what we're going to talk about today. Here's the first thing you need to understand. The State Department publishes something called the Visa Bulletin every single month. It's basically a menu showing which priority dates are currently being processed. There are two charts inside that bulletin. One is called Final Action Dates. The other is called Dates for Filing. These two charts confuse almost everyone, so let's break it down simply. Final action dates tell you when your green card can actually be approved. Dates for filing tell you when you're allowed to submit your paperwork and get into the pipeline early. Depending on which category you fall under, USCIS decides each month whether applicants can use the earlier filing chart or must wait for the final action chart. This single decision affects millions of people. Now here's where October 1st becomes powerful. Because it's the start of a new fiscal year, the government often allows more movement on the filing chart in October than any other month. This means categories that were completely stuck in August or September can suddenly open up in October. If you're prepared, you can literally file your green card application on day one of the new fiscal year. But if you're not paying attention, you might miss the window completely. Numbers can move forward, then retrogress backward again later in the year once demand catches up with supply. This is why timing isn't just important, it's everything. Being first in line doesn't mean being the most deserving. It means being the most prepared when the door opens. So, how do you actually prepare to be first in line? Let's go step by step because this is where most people either win big or lose valuable time. Step 1. Know your exact priority date. This is the date your petition was originally filed, not the date it was approved. Many people get confused here and miss opportunities because they're tracking the wrong date. Step 2. Know your category. Are you employment-based? Family-sponsored? Which preference category? EB1, EB2, EB3, F1, F2A, F2B, F3, F4. Each moves at a completely different speed. Step 3. Know your country of birth, not citizenship. Countries like India, China, Mexico, and the Philippines often face longer backlogs because of high demand. If you're born in one of these countries, timing becomes even more critical. Now, here's something most YouTube videos skip completely. The moment the new fiscal year begins, you should already have your documents ready to go. Waiting until your date becomes current to start gathering paperwork is a mistake. Think about it like a race. The starting gun fires on October 1st. If your shoes aren't already tied, you lose precious time while others sprint ahead. What documents should you have ready? Your medical exam, if applicable, your financial support documents, your birth certificate translations, your passport copies, your affidavit of support if it's family-based. If you're working with an attorney, October is the month to be in constant communication with them. Ask them directly, is my category likely to move in the reset? What should I have ready right now? If you're not working with an attorney, at minimum, bookmark the Visa Bulletin page and check it religiously every single month, especially through September into October. Now, let's talk about something people rarely mention: demand surges. When numbers open up in October, everyone rushes at once. This creates massive backlogs at USCIS and National Visa Center processing centers. This means even if your priority date becomes current, processing time can still take weeks or months because so many people are filing simultaneously. Being early in the queue within that window still matters enormously. This is exactly why preparation beats reaction every single time. The people who had everything ready on day one get processed faster than those who scramble to gather documents after their date becomes current. Let's pause here for a second. If this is helping you understand the system better, make sure you've liked this video already, because it genuinely helps this channel keep making deep, clear immigration content like this. Now, let's talk about a mistake I see constantly. People assume that once their priority date becomes current, it will stay current forever. That is not always true. Visa numbers can retrogress, meaning the date moves backward again if too many people rush to file at once. This has happened multiple times in categories like EB2 India and EB3 worldwide. This is why being first in line during the October reset is so valuable. The earlier you file within that window, the less likely you are to get caught in a sudden retrogression a few months later. Let's go back to Daniel's story for a moment. When his date became current in October, he didn't wait even one extra week. His documents were ready, his attorney submitted everything within days. 3 months later, that same category retrogressed again due to overwhelming demand. People who waited even a few weeks to prepare their paperwork got stuck behind the new backlog. Daniel had already secured his spot. This is the difference between understanding the system and simply hoping for good luck. Timing plus preparation equals results. Hope alone rarely moves your case forward. Now let's talk about family-based categories specifically, because they work slightly differently from employment-based cases, and October affects them too. Family preference categories like F1 for unmarried sons and daughters of citizens, F3 for married children, and F4 for siblings of citizens often have extremely long waits, sometimes over a decade depending on country. For these categories, the October reset can still bring meaningful movement, especially if annual limits reset favorably. Staying updated monthly is critical because even small forward jumps matter after years of waiting. If you're in a family-based category, talk to your family members abroad now. Make sure their passports are updated, their documents are translated, and everyone understands what will be needed the moment the date becomes current. Communication breakdowns are one of the biggest reasons people miss their window. Imagine your date finally becomes current, but your relative overseas doesn't have a valid passport ready. That alone can cost weeks of delay. Let's shift gears and talk about diversity visa applicants too, because October matters here as well. The DV lottery results and visa number allocation also follow the fiscal year calendar. If you're selected in the diversity visa lottery, understanding how numbers are released throughout the fiscal year, starting in October, helps you plan your interview timing and document preparation more strategically. Now, here's a question I get asked constantly. Should I hire an immigration attorney or can I handle this myself? Honestly, it depends on your case complexity, but timing-sensitive categories almost always benefit from professional guidance. An experienced attorney watches the visa bulletin trends, understands historical retrogression patterns, and can often predict which categories are likely to move significantly during the October reset based on past years. If your case is straightforward and you're confident navigating government paperwork, you can absolutely do this yourself. Just commit to checking the bulletin monthly without fail, especially from August through November. Let's talk about a resource most people overlook completely. USCIS and the State Department both publish predictions and trend analysis. Immigration attorneys and advocacy groups often break these down publicly for free. Following a few reliable, well-informed sources throughout the year means you're never caught off guard when October arrives. Surprises in immigration timing almost always hurt applicants, never help them. Now, I want to address something emotionally, because this process isn't just numbers on a spreadsheet. Behind every priority date is a family waiting to reunite, a career waiting to move forward, a life waiting to fully begin. Waiting years for a green card takes a mental toll. The uncertainty, the constant checking, the disappointment when nothing changes month after month. It's exhausting, and it's completely valid to feel frustrated by this system. But understanding exactly how the system works transforms that frustration into strategy. Instead of feeling powerless, you become someone who knows precisely what to watch for and when to act. That shift from anxious waiting to informed preparation is honestly the entire purpose of this video. Knowledge doesn't guarantee speed, but it absolutely maximizes your chances of moving as fast as legally possible. Let's recap the core strategy so far. Know your priority date and category. Watch the Visa Bulletin every single month. Prepare all documents in advance, especially before October. Communicate with family members overseas early. Stay in close contact with your attorney if you have one. Understand that dates can retrogress, so speed matters once your category opens. And never assume the system will wait patiently for you to get ready. Now here's something practical you can do right now, today, while watching this video. Go check the current Visa Bulletin. Compare it to last October's bulletin. Look at how much movement happened in your specific category. This single research task takes maybe 10 minutes, but it gives you a realistic expectation of what might happen this coming October. Patterns from previous years often, though not always, repeat somewhat similarly. If your category showed strong movement last October, prepare accordingly. If it showed little to no movement, that's valuable information too, letting you manage expectations realistically instead of getting emotionally blindsided. I also want to mention something important about processing centers. Not all cases move at the same speed even within the same category, because different service centers and consulates have different backlogs. If you're doing adjustment of status inside the United States, your local USCIS field office matters. If you're doing consular processing abroad, your specific embassy or consulate's current workload matters just as much as your priority date. Some consulates process much faster than others simply due to staffing and case volume. This is worth researching specifically for your country if you're going through consular processing rather than adjustment of status. Now let's talk about something that trips up a lot of people, the difference between visa availability and actual approval. Just because your number becomes current doesn't mean approval happens instantly. USCIS still needs to review your case, verify your documents, sometimes request additional evidence, and complete background checks. Being first in line gets you into the approval pipeline faster, but it's still a pipeline, not a magic instant switch. This is exactly why preparation matters so much. The applicants who avoid delays are the ones who submitted complete, accurate, well-organized paperwork the very first time without missing documents or unclear information. Requests for additional evidence, often called RFEs, can add months to your case. Avoiding these by submitting thorough documentation up front is one of the most underrated strategies for speeding up your green card timeline. If you've made it this far into the video, you clearly care about getting this right, and I genuinely appreciate you sticking around. This kind of detailed breakdown takes real research, and your attention means everything to this channel. Let's talk about one more critical piece: staying updated after October passes. Just because the reset happens doesn't mean your work is done. The bulletin can shift again in November, December, and beyond. Set a recurring reminder on your phone, the same day every single month, to check the Visa Bulletin. This tiny habit alone puts you ahead of thousands of applicants who only check sporadically or forget entirely for months at a time. Join online communities too. Forums and social media groups dedicated to green card timelines often share real-time updates and personal experiences that give you insight beyond just the official government numbers. Real people sharing real processing times, real interview experiences, and real document checklists can be incredibly valuable alongside official sources. Just always verify critical decisions with official government information or a licensed attorney. Now, before we wrap up, I want you to think about Daniel's story one more time. He didn't have connections. He didn't have extra money to rush the system. He simply understood the timing and prepared relentlessly. That's genuinely available to anyone watching this video right now. The information isn't secret, it's just scattered and confusing until someone breaks it down clearly, which is exactly what we've done together today. October 1st isn't just another date on a calendar. For hundreds of thousands of families around the world, it represents hope, movement, and the possibility of finally moving forward after years of uncertainty. Whether you're waiting on an employment-based case, a family petition, or a diversity visa, the strategy remains the same. Know your numbers, prepare your documents, watch the bulletin, and move fast when your window opens. If this video helped you understand the process better, I need you to do 3 things before you leave. First, drop a comment below telling me your category and country so others going through the same wait can connect with you. Second, share this video with anyone you know who's currently waiting on a green card. Trust me, they need this information just as much as you do, and sharing it could genuinely change their preparation timeline. And third, if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel so you don't miss future videos breaking down Visa Bulletin updates, immigration strategy, and clear explanations of confusing government processes. Immigration shouldn't feel like a mystery designed to confuse you. It should feel like a system you can actually understand and navigate with confidence, even when the waiting feels endless. October 1st is coming. The reset is coming. And now you're prepared in a way most people watching the news or scrolling social media simply aren't. That preparation is your advantage. Thank you so much for watching this entire video. I'll see you in the next one, where we'll break down even more strategies to help you navigate your green card journey with clarity, confidence, and control.